sixes to the fields. One voice cuts through, giving you the real. He broke the stories, he started the fire, launched the whole game back in '86, never retired. Heroes crown him, yeah, they call him the king. Fur coat flashing, bling bling in every ring. He's the hardest working, great talking dog. Call in with your tape, but don't get it wrong. He'll call you a nitwit if you're acting a fool, but deep down you love it. That's the Eskin rule. Riding with the king, yeah, we're riding with the king. Howard Eskin Show, let the truth ring. Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, he knows the deal. Philly sports royalty, bow down and kneel. Riding with the king, put your hands in the air. From South Philly streets to the Delaware. No filter, no fear, just the facts on the mic. It's the Howard Eskin Show. Let's go get signed. Hey, riding with the king. Riding with the king. Hey, riding with the king. Riding with the king.
Yeah, thank you. The real king is here, ladies and gentlemen. Not Howard Eskin, the real king of Radio Row, the real king of Philadelphia.
I haven't even introduced you yet. Just relax. Tony can't help. So that's Tony Bruno, if you don't know. And welcome to the Howard Eskin Show. As you are riding with the king, that crown just doesn't look right on you, Tony.
I know. So I got to get it refit. I need more bling in it. I need a couple more diamonds. I got to get Barry Sable to get me some more diamonds.
Well, yeah, but that's So I had the new show open for those people that obviously know it's different. It's kind of cool. We're gonna have. I got two of them, and I'm going to ask for a vote.
By the way, who helped you get those new opens?
Miss Robin. Miss Robin.
Damn right she did.
I know. She was a star at that. So anyway, let me just. I got to take care of some business here before.
Absolutely,
I do
go
anything.
ahead. Before I destroy you, I'm ready to destroy you, Howard.
Okay.
I brought the receipts.
You know what? You know what you can do with those? You can crumple them up. All I know is, well, we'll get into it. Let's not leave it all in the pre-show or the locker room. First of all, let me tell you, this fine show is presented by Stillwell Financial Advisors. Jeff Stillwell knows the stuff. You want to invest in a really crazy changing world of economics and your money. Jeff Stillwell knows his stuff and can take care of those things for you and do it well. I know Jeff Stillwell. I got to know him really well. He knows what he's doing. And if you have any interest or any questions, 732-343-0813. All right, let me tell you, I will talk about many things with Tony. Obviously, the Philadelphia sports scene, which Tony thinks he knows but doesn't know, but we'll address that. And there's a bunch of things that I certainly do want to talk about. I'm glad Tony is physically being able to do the show because he's such a weakling and he gets sick and he just takes off his shows, just like that, but we'll get into it. But before I do that, I want to tell people we will announce the winner from our last show. There's a question that I'm going to give to people from you, Tony, tonight. I do it from every guest that I have, and they win something. But before we do that,
what did I win? What did I win?
You won the opportunity to do a show with the King. All right. And here's
Burger King? I met him at the Super Bowl. I thought he was you.
I met him too. But here's the thing. He didn't give himself the name. LaFraud James gave himself the name, so he's a fraud. I never gave myself the name. It was given to me by somebody else, and then just people picked it up. But before we get to you, I want to talk about our other fine partners. And there's a great deal now going on at Audi Westchester. Tony, if you need a car, you can come up to Florida.
I need an Audi. I absolutely need an Audi. I'm an Audi guy. That's my dream car.
I've got two of them.
That's what I need.
Well, right now you get 3.99% financing up to 72 months on the new redesigned A5, the A5 sedan. And you can get 1.99% financing. You can't get that anywhere for up to 72 months on the Q5 SUV. And that is a popular vehicle. It's a great car. Audi Westchester, located at 14 21 Wilmington Pike. And once you work out your deal,
Can you hook me up with Claudio Macioli?
Yeah.
He's a paisan.
Yeah,
He's
right.
got to take care of the boys from South Philly. Claudio.
And they can have the car shipped to you in Florida. They can ship it anywhere.
Beautiful, yeah.
And after
down here, it will ride much better because in the snow and ice up in the northeast part of the country, it's still a beautiful car. Don't get me wrong.
Audi's riding.
But it will ride better here in Florida than it will in Philadelphia.
Well, obviously, if the streets aren't wet, but mention after you work out your best deal with Audi Westchester, mention Claudio 500, and you get an extra $500 off. You do that. And check it all out at AudiWestchester.com. And Tony, I know you probably want a pool down there, and I don't know if they'll come down.
I definitely need a pool.
Okay.
Now.
Piazza Property.
Can I have it installed by Christmas?
I don't think they can do it by Christmas. Well, actually, the weather's good enough to do it down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you can get it done by Christmas.
Like 2 weeks.
But here's the number you can call, 610-566-2608. They can redesign you. I know you're in a new house, redesign your property. They can, whether it's landscaping, fencing, hardscaping, excavation, whatever it is, they can. If you don't have a pool yet, but if you need pool maintenance, they can take care of that. 25 years of experience. They don't subcontract, so they know their stuff. That number again, 610-566-2608, 610-566-2608, piazzaoutdoor.com. All right. I don't know that I've officially introduced my guest tonight, although people know who he is. Maybe they don't care, but they do know who he is, and that would be Tony Bruno. Somebody, actually, Clearwater is about 2.5 hours away from you, right? Somebody's listening from Clearwater. I see you on the chat line.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Clearwater, everything's close. Miami's only 2 hours one way. Clearwater's 2 hours to the north. I'm in the epicenter of it was 84 degrees today, Howard. The glorious sunshine, working outside, going out and breathing the fresh air, not having to deal with the traffic and all that. Listen, Philly's always my home, so I'm not a Philly hater. I love the city. I mean, we got Michelin restaurants now with 1 star. I got better. By the way, people don't even realize what these Michelin awards, the ones.
I know Philadelphia just got one. Yeah,
it's a tire company. It's the Michelin Man. It's not.
I don't quite understand that either, but that's a big award. Do you know what that award is?
Yeah, Philadelphia is a great restaurant city. That's the first thing. So now all of a sudden, all the woke yimbies in Philadelphia, yes, in my backyard, who want buildings now built, apartments built in Independence Square and in Rittenhouse Square, and they want all these buildings to go up so that people who can't afford to live there, and there's plenty of properties available, will now be able to go in there and instead just close down Independence Hall because it's dark at night. These are the people that are running the city right now, the young up-and-comers, the yes in my backyard losers, all of these 30-something punks who don't know anything about city living but think they do.
Well, in Philadelphia, sometimes it's a little dangerous to go out after dark. I don't know that you want to go out after dark in Philadelphia.
Right, it's a safe city. I heard the crime is down. I heard Governor Shapiro up there saying crime is down and everything's good.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the mayor here, but that's another story. I don't want to get
a fan of the mayor or the governor. He's worse than Gavin Newsom. That's hard to believe.
No.
That Josh Shapiro is worse than Gavin Newsom.
Josh Shapiro is one of the sharpest people person that you will know. He is
absolutely BS out. The guy hasn't met a camera. All he does is selfies with people. All he does is glad hands.
What's wrong with that?
He's lying.
He's taking care of the state of Pennsylvania.
He's lying about.
I don't want to get into politics.
Septa money and all this other stuff.
I'm not getting into
politics. You're on
politics.
the wrong side again, Howard. You're on the wrong side of every issue.
Josh Shapiro should be, and I don't want a response from you, should be the next president of the United States.
I wouldn't even vote for him to run my local bar mitzvah.
You are
I wouldn't
an idiot.
vote for him to actually sell me a diamond on Jewelers Row.
But he's not a jeweler, so he won't. I don't want him to sell me a diamond either.
Clown. He's a clown. He lies every day about what he's doing for the people of Pennsylvania. Yes, he does.
He's the most honest politician, and I've met there's not many. I've met a few that are honest. He's the most honest politician I have ever met. No more politics. I don't want to talk politics.
I was not about politics.
It is about politics. All right, let me ask you about sports. All right, the Eagles, Tony, have scored one whole touchdown in each of the last 2 games. They're killing it offensively. Just killing it.
I mean, 8-2 is just such a horrible thing. And now you're just like the ESPN clowns. These guys who one week have the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. What's the guy's name? The guy who was a failed quarterback and is working at ESPN, and he changes his opinion
Dan
every
Orlovsky,
day.
you're talking about?
Yeah, Dan Orlovsky. Listen, I like the guy. But then every day it's something different. Every day it's they're the best. Oh no, they don't have enough offense. And then the next day, defense wins championships if you're the Denver Broncos or if you're the Seattle Seahawks or the Rams. But now Dan Orlovsky and all of these ESPN geniuses are the Eagles can't win a Super Bowl with this offense.
They can't.
Do people understand?
I don't think they can. The offense has to get better.
Of course it does. But guess what? Jalen Hurts, and I got the numbers. Jalen Hurts is the 16th highest paid quarterback in the NFL. 16th. Look at the list,
making
Howard.
$50 million a year, Tony.
His cap number is 21,877. Dak stinking Prescott, who hasn't even sniffed the Super Bowl, $50,000 on the cap. Matthew Stafford, he's earned it.
$50 million, Tony. $50 million.
$50 million. Well,
you said 50,000.
Now that all of a sudden Dak's great now. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow, who hasn't sniffed anything, 46,000.
He's got bunch of bad guys around him.
Lamar Jackson at least is worth it. People pay to see him, and he's good. Kyler Murray, who the Arizona Cardinals are ready to throw the hell out with the bathwater. Remember the other stiff they drafted before Kyler Murray?
I don't care what guys get paid. It's how good they are.
No, I don't care either. I'm just telling you, look at the list. Dak, Matt Stafford, good. Burrow, stinks. Lamar, good. Kyler Murray is not even fit to be in the league.
Kyler. We're not talking about
Geno Smith. Geno freaking Smith is the 6th highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
I don't care what they get paid.
Could not start for the Frankfurt Bulldogs.
You know what? Those numbers are useless. They're useless. Guys getting paid. The Eagles paid a guy that didn't play a second for.
Tua Tagliavolo.
Devon White.
One week looks like a champion, and the next week looks like he sucks Hawaiian balls.
I don't care what a guy gets paid.
Justin Herbert hasn't won jack squat. Gets hyped up. Oh, Justin Herbert is so good.
If you put most
Josh Allen, legit. Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson.
Forget about Deshaun Watson. He's a fraud.
Jared Goff. Jordan Love.
Jared Goff is good.
So Pat Mahomes and Baker Mayfield are the only 2 players. Is Jordan Love better than Jalen Hurts? Is Jordan Love better than Jalen Hurts?
I think they're about equal.
No, then get out of here, Howard. He hasn't beat shit. The guy sucks. He's overrated, and so are the stinking.
He's not there yet.
These
Tony, here's what I don't want to hear about.
Oh, he's 37, just like
I don't want to hear about what a guy gets paid.
Now, and guess who was 37 when he won a Super Bowl?
Tony, just
Brett
be quiet for a
Favre
second.
and Aaron Rodgers.
For a second. When you see those numbers, you dope. When you see those numbers are the way that they try to fit players into a cap. A lot of times,
it's cap space, Howard.
They backload the numbers, and by backloading the numbers, it doesn't give you what they're getting really paid. Jalen Hurts is averaging $50-some million a year, which is as much, if not more, than.
And guess what? He's been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years as a Super Bowl MVP. None of these guys have won jack shit.
Zach Bond was the MVP, by the way. Zach Bond was the MVP of that Super Bowl, but they never give it to a defensive player. They never do.
By the way, let me give you a stat here. Jalen Hurts on 20-yard throws.
Give it to me.
7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 128.2 passer rating. I guess that's a mirage, right?
Okay,
even though he's got a
Tony,
guy
I'm going to tell you.
Even though he's got a cancer on the team who can't run basic routes anymore.
You fell right into the trap. I don't care about quarterback rating. It's the most ridiculous piece of crap.
So when a guy's facing a blitz, when a guy faces the blitz this season, he's completed 68. These are facts. These aren't just made up bullshit. 68.4%, 840 yards, 11 touchdowns, 1 interception.
The Eagles have scored 20.
He's first in the NFL.
The Eagles have scored
passing on 3rd and 4th downs this season.
The Eagles have scored 26 points in the last 2 games.
So what?
And won 2 games. The last time a team won 2 in a row.
This isn't college football, Howard, where if you win big like Notre Dame, then you're going to be ahead of Miami. This isn't college bullshit football where they have to pay kids to go and play for them. This is the NFL, which means not for long when you have opinions like yours and are absolutely clueless.
Tony, let me just break this down for you. He doesn't throw. Hey, listen, he's a good quarterback, but he doesn't throw in the tight windows, and that's why he doesn't throw interceptions. The Eagles don't want him to pass more than 21 to 23 times. And now that the Eagles' offensive line, and they've lost Lane Johnson, we'll get into that, is not as good this year. Actually, Cam Jurgens is probably going to be out. He didn't practice today with a concussion. So their offensive line isn't as good. Their running game isn't as good. And without that, to cover up for Jalen not having to throw, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I'm saying you get carried away. He's got to be better. And without a running game, the way they had it last year, he's going to have to throw the ball more. And that's not why they won. And that's not what they want. And the reason he has few interceptions, he doesn't throw in the tight windows. He will not take chances, which you have to do as a quarterback. And
he did take chances. He made a couple of runs in that game that helped
him
win.
He runs because he doesn't want him
getting hurt now. Do you want him getting hurt now like all these other softy quarterbacks around the league? Like the guy in New York, Jackson Dart, and all these other guys. These guys are playing reckless. Jalen Hurts is a smart guy. Jalen Hurts has had 62,000 offensive coordinators. And all the other guys, well, he's got a different offensive coordinator. How's he going to win now? Wait a minute. Poor guy. Look at what he had to go through.
Well, wait a minute.
Look at what this clown, look at what Dak Prescott had to go through.
Every good team that has a good offensive coordinator always gets a head coaching job. So they all leave.
They do?
They all leave. And it's not like they bring somebody from outside. Usually they hire people that were working within the team that know what the concepts are, know what the quarterback is comfortable with, and they know Jalen Hurts had to be talked into. I don't want to sit here and just criticize Jalen Hurts.
Yes, you do, Howard. You and Derek Gunn and Dan Sileo are the 3 most negative shock jocks hating on Jalen Hurts, and it's embarrassing. You should be embarrassed, Howard.
Tony, somebody on the chat line.
Somebody will go down as the best Eagles quarterback ever. Okay. And then you got the guy at WIP. What's his name? The guy who played with Donovan McNabb. What's the dude over there at WIP in the morning?
Well, whatever.
The fullback who used to bleed when he was with the Raiders. What's his name? John Ritchie.
Donovan McNabb
and I like
is the
John
best
Ritchie,
quarterback. Donovan McNabb right now is still the best quarterback in Eagles history.
No, he's not. Donovan McNabb, I'll give you this. Donovan McNabb had bad weapons, and the guy was good. But Andy,
Rodney
he
Parker,
was not a leader.
whoever,
the
receivers they had were okay.
Well, they had terrible receivers, but they went to how many of those NFC championship games were they favored to win, Howard? And how many did they choke away?
It's hard to find a good leader as a quarterback. It's hard to find. And
Jalen Hurts is not a good leader as a quarterback?
Tony, I don't want to get into things that I know because I don't want to get into that. But the reality is the reason that's a lot of the stuff on social media is bullshit. We both know that.
Of course it is.
Okay. That stuff.
I deal with facts, Howard. I got facts and stats right here. I got stats.
I know. How much
facts don't lie, Howard.
The reason that
stuff
that stuff came out, it was legit. There were questions about there were serious questions about Jalen Hurts. And
his arm strength? You questioning his arm strength?
Well, I want to tell you this. Tanner McKee has a stronger arm, and I've seen him in practice.
Oh, yeah. So Tanner McKee now is going to be better than Jalen Hurts. That's what you're saying.
Well, and I got in. People got all bent out of shape with me because I said Tanner McKee was a better quarterback to run fundamentally what they do. He can go through his progressions better. He's got a stronger arm. He's not as athletic, but he's taller, which gives him a little bit of advantage. Jalen Hurts.
So Jalen Hurts is too tall now, right? Jalen Hurts is too short. To see over the line.
Well, no, he's not too short, but
Did you see the Detroit Lions trying to look over the line, and they had the two guys in front who are two Reggie Whites, right? They're the Eagles right now defensively, and
their
defense wins championship.
Okay, but
Howard.
Okay, so that's not the quarterback. Does he play on defense? They're genius.
No, but the quarterback has gone to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years, and the guy is the MVP and should have won the other Super Bowl against the.
Joel Embiid won an MVP. Joel Embiid
is garbage.
I know he won an MVP. So what does that mean? What is the
biggest fraud ever perpetrated? And there's still the people in Philadelphia still sucking this guy's dick. He's a cancer, and he needs to be thrown the hell out.
All right,
get him the hell out of here.
Let me get you off of Jalen Hurts because he scores a lot of his touchdowns on this ridiculous tush push.
No, he doesn't. Who else? You know who else does it? Everybody else. They don't.
I don't care whether they do it.
What about the guy in Buffalo? The guy in Buffalo, they push. No, so when everybody gets behind the guy and keeps pushing him in when they're standing up, that's not good. That's not the same thing, right, Howard?
I'm going to ask you.
How the hell did you ever survive doing sports talk in Philadelphia?
How many coffees did you have today?
None.
Okay.
None.
Okay. All right. I forget the question I was going to. Oh, the tush push. Do you like it or not like it?
I don't care. It works. I don't care.
Do you like it? Is it a football
and all
play?
These frauds on social media, they're offside all the time. No, they're not. And the people talking about, well, the Eagles got all the calls. No, they didn't. A.J. Brown was tripped. A.J. Brown.
No, that was a terrible call. That was a horrible call.
Yeah, but then everybody's crying about the one call where A.J. Brown went out of bounds and he didn't run the right route. A.J. Brown is done.
Okay.
Let's remember that. A.J. Brown is not the same player. So if you want to talk about Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith is smaller. But Devontae Smith goes up and catches the ball.
And never complains. He had one catch and never heard a word from him. Yeah.
Devontae Smith will be the greatest Eagle receiver of all time when all is said and done. He will pass Harold Carmichael, Hall of Famer, who was 7 feet tall back when Ron Jaworski just used to have to lob it up into the end zone and have Harold go up and grab it and pull it down. Devontae Smith is not a big guy. Devontae Smith plays hard, and he knows how to catch. And by the way,
listen, I've said it for weeks.
How many times has Jalen Hurts thrown to Devontae Smith that he goes up and gets them? How many times has A.J. Brown
I love
go up and get
Smith.
the ball?
I love Devontae Smith.
He will be Marcus down, and you play this tape back later when I'm dead, Howard. Devontae Smith will go down as the greatest Eagle wide receiver. And by the way, he won the Heisman Trophy.
I know what he
Heisman
won,
most Heisman Trophy winners suck in the pros.
Yep.
Devontae Smith is the greatest Eagles draft pick when we went through all the Aguilars and all of these other stiffs that they were drafting back in the day and bringing these clowns in. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown should be ashamed. He should give half of his paycheck. He should give 3/4 of his paycheck to Devontae Smith. Screw A.J. Brown and the horse he ran in on.
Devontae Smith is a better wide receiver in both of our opinions. A.J. Brown is still a good wide receiver, but not as good as Devontae Smith. We agree with that. But the tush push, Dick Vermeil said it when I had him on last week, it's not a football play, and it won't be around next year because it's too difficult to officiate. That's simple.
Well, he may be right, and I love Dick Vermeil. But the bottom line is, the NFL voted on it, and the player. But now everybody's doing a form of it. When everybody pushes behind, when what's his name? When Josh Allen scores 6 touchdowns. Remember him?
Yeah, I remember him. You know what?
He had 6 touchdowns in the game. And guess what he does? He has guys pushing him as he gets to the end zone. So what's the difference
Which I think is ridiculous.
all the guys coming in and pushing a guy all the way through?
You know what Josh Allen does that Jalen Hurts, when Brian Baldinger, his breakdown plays, he said, Jalen, throw the ball. He dances around. Josh Allen, when he scrambles, looks down the field to see, there's got to be somebody open at some point if you have that much time. He looks down the field. Jalen a lot of times does not. Does not. And
how many Super Bowls has Josh Allen been in?
Their defense sucks. Their defense sucks. Their defense sucks. Yeah. Wait a minute. You'd rather have Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen?
No, I love Josh Allen runs the ball more than any other He's got the most rushing touchdowns in NFL history. He's ahead of guys who are running backs.
But he looks for the pass first.
But he hasn't made that next step, and that's what Buffalo fans want. Buffalo's never won a Super Bowl. They had all these chances back in the day with that legendary team, but the bottom line is Josh Allen is a super athlete. He's not what a regular quarterback does.
Okay, Tony, let me take you off your coffee rush here.
I'm not on a coffee rush, Howard.
I'm want you to
fact rush
before we talk about Lane Johnson and the other Philadelphia sports and the biggest outrage in Philadelphia. Before we talk, I want you to be, and you got to be quiet. The show opens that I have that Miss Robin helped me with. There's two of them, and we're trying to.
That's the last time she's helping. From now on, if you call her, I'm going to tell her to hang up, and I'm going to block your. I'm going to block your numbers. I'm going to block you on Twitter. I'm going to block you on all social media, and I'm going to disown you and tell people I've never ever known you, met you, or liked you from day one.
Okay, somebody just on the chat line here, you nitwit, just said Jalen Hurts is the third best quarterback in the NFL. Are you crazy? Is that guy crazy? That's real truth now. Tony,
right,
wait a minute. Even you wouldn't say he's the third best quarterback in the league, right?
But Howard, have you been watching the last couple of years in the playoffs? Have you watched the Eagles team where they got better this year defensively? And then guess what? When you lose offensive linemen and you lose your center and your all-pro left tackle, those things don't make any team better.
Injuries are part of the game.
Who you are. Look at the Raiders. They have the worst offensive line maybe in the history of sports. And yet they still run Geno Smith out there.
Tony, okay. I want you to listen to these. So I'm going to slow you down, and then we're going to get to a few other things. I want you to listen.
I got to take this crown off. It's making a hole.
Yeah,
in my
well,
head.
it doesn't fit with you anyway, because you are certainly not.
I got to stretch this out a little bit.
Okay,
get a better fit here.
Yeah. Oh. You're such a dope. All right, listening to. I want you to tell me one or two which show open do you like better? And you got to be quiet during this so people can hear it. All right. My producer's name is Joe. Joe,
mute the mic.
Yeah. play the songs. Yeah. Play one.
ESKIN. You turn it up, Philly, it's time to roll on the ones and twos, taking full control. From the link to the wells, from the sixes to the fills, one voice cuts through, giving you the real. He broke the stories, he started the fire, launched the whole game back in innings, never tire. Pete Rose crowned him, yeah, they call him the king. Fur coat flashing, bling bling in every ring. He's the hardest working, straight talking Don. Call in what you take, but don't get it wrong. He'll call you a loser if you're acting a fool, but deep down you love it. That's the Eskin rule. Riding with the king, yeah, we're riding with the king. Howard Eskin Show, let the truth ring. Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, he knows the deal. Philly sports royalty, bow down and kneel. Riding with the king, put your hands in the air. From South Philly streets to the Delaware. No filter, no fear, just the facts on the mic. It's the Howard Eskin Show. Let's go, let's ride tonight. 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 Howard Eskin Show. Let's go, let's ride tonight.
All right, that's the first one. Let's play the second one. And hopefully you heard the first one, Tony. And I want the
I heard the
people.
first one.
Okay, I want the
Got my
people.
earbuds in, Howard. I've been
Okay.
listening.
Oh, okay. And I want the people to vote on 1 or 2. All right. That was 1. This is 2.
Yes, K-I-N. Oh, yeah. You turn it up, Philly. It's time to roll on the ones and twos, taking full control. From the link to the X, from the sixes to the fields. One voice cuts through, giving you the real. He broke the stories, he started the fire, launched the whole game back in '86, never retired. Heroes crown him, yeah, they call him the king. Fur coat flashing, bling bling in every ring. He's the hardest working, great talking dog. Call in with your tape, but don't get it wrong. He'll call you a nitwit if you're acting a fool, but deep down you love it. That's the Eskin rule. Riding with the king, yeah, we're riding with the king. Howard Eskin Show, let the truth ring. Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, he knows the deal. Philly sports royalty, bow down and kneel. Riding with the king, put your hands in the air. From South Philly streets to the Delaware. No filter, no fear, just the facts on the mic. It's the Howard Eskin Show. Let's go get sight. Hey, riding with the king. Riding with the king. Hey, riding with the king. Riding with the king.
All right. Which one, Tony?
I'm going to call it a push, Howard, as we like to have in gambling terms, a push. They're both good. I mean, I don't,
Okay.
they got a good beat. You can dance to it. I give it a 65.
Okay. All right. I see people. One was excellent.
can't I
That's
see the
JC.
chat?
Patty
Why can't I see
said
the chat?
both are great, but she's voting for number 2.
Oh, there it is.
Second one better by Greg. George says number 2. Tony says number 2. Both staying in my lane, both great, like number 2. And then another guy says number 1. So I think right now, it's a slight edge for number 2. It's a slight edge. All right. Now we got that, and people can vote.
Stanky Bruff. I love that name. Who's Stanky Bruff? Is that one of your staying in my lane? A lot of good comments on this. I didn't even realize it was a chat. Why didn't you let me know there was a chat that was active?
Well, I didn't know that you cared, Tony. I don't know that you care about anything but what you care about. You're such a dope. You're such a dope. It's almost split, but I think 2 has a slight edge. I think 2. Joe, and Joe can talk to me. I don't know if you can hear him. Joe, we opened the show with number 2, right? Is that what we opened the show with? Okay, we opened the show with number. So I thought number 2 was slightly better, but I want people to vote. All right, now let's get back to reality here. How much do you think it will hurt the Eagles with no Lane Johnson? And really, I think for the rest of the season, a Liz Frank injury is a real tough injury.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a tough guy, but it's a real tough injury.
I banged her once, Liz Frank. I met her in South Philly, and we went out to Gino's and Pat's Steaks. And then
how was she? How was she?
She was all right. She was all right. It was 2 a.m. The bars were closing, and I had to make a decision.
Okay. By the way, Miss Robin acknowledged on the chat line. She wrote and created those, which she did a great job, and she has to admit that she favors number 2 as well. So I got a vote from the creator. But they back to the Eagles. They will miss Lane Johnson.
Absolutely,
maybe not,
they will.
Yeah, maybe not in this game, but teams are now going to. He's the best right tackle in football. So I don't know. I just don't know if what was was there a word that an announcer used? Skitterish. I don't know that Jalen will be skitterish from the right side, but that's not his blind side. So at least he should be able to see what's coming.
I haven't had an alcoholic beverage seriously in months because I'm on prednisone. You can't drink. So when I'm told not to drink alcohol, I don't drink.
Well, let me tell you something. Well, but you're normally just, you sound like you're always drunk.
No, I don't. I try to stay happy every day, Howard. I don't get up first thing in the morning and look for things that make me mad. I want to enjoy life. That's what it's all about.
I
I
know.
want to enjoy life.
And you're in Florida trying to enjoy it.
Exactly.
Okay, and you got no.
So listen, sports is fun.
There.
You know, when the teams win, when the Philly sports teams win, the whole city feels better about itself. It feels better about itself more than any politician, any governor, mayor, whatever. When the teams are good, and when the team's good, like 8-2 good, and everybody's now having them as the team to beat, you know, all the odds makers and stuff.
I don't care about odds. I care about what you see on the field.
Yeah, I see 8-2, and I see 7 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in passes over 20 yards this year. And
well, and Devontae Smith has probably gotten 5 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, and by the way, Dallas Goedert, that game Monday where, you know, Sunday night where they're dropping the balls in the cold and the wind's blowing, how many people dropped balls in that game? But here's the thing, Jared Goff, great quarterback, you take him outside, what happens? He becomes another
in that
guy.
weather. When a dome team plays outside in November
absolutely.
or December, it's not the same kind of team, and they're different. And that's why I don't think there should ever be a dome on a stadium. Green Bay doesn't have a dome. That's probably the worst. Green Bay and Buffalo don't have domes. Buffalo's
building a new stadium, and it's not going to have a dome.
Yeah, I think they are building one with a dome.
No, I don't think there's a dome on that thing.
Oh, and then they should not have a dome. They should not have a dome. Football is meant to be played in cold weather, snow, whatever it is. No domes. So the Eagles will definitely miss Lane Johnson for sure. All right, Tony.
No doubt about it.
Okay.
I mean, look at the Raiders' offensive line. And then they drafted this Ashton Genty guy, and then they don't give him the ball. They were throwing the ball to the running back, and they had to run out the clock for 2.5. You talk about embarrassments. That's how bad the Raiders. And you know, I did Raiders post-game and pregame show.
I know they stink.
And you know and how did Tom Brady buy into that franchise?
Well, because you can't help but make money with an NFL team. It doesn't matter. You can't help but make money. You know, and he's with other teams and watching other teams. You know, he shouldn't be a broadcaster if he's talking to the coaching staff, and he does with the Raiders. But that's another story, probably for another time. Biggest outrage in Philadelphia, in your opinion? What's the biggest outrage?
Well, the reaction of the media and the fans. There's only one thing worse than the news media in Philadelphia, which is corrupt and absolutely embarrassed. They're the embarrassment of the nation. It's hard, and I hate to do this. I hate to talk about that.
Sure.
No,
somebody compared you to Josh Innes. Somebody tonight compared you to Josh Innes on the chat line.
Josh Innes wasn't a Philly guy. I'm a Philly guy through and through. That's you know that, Howard. There's no person that's more Philly than I am. Anywhere in this country, anywhere on the national scene. When I was on national radio at Fox, ESPN, you named it. Everybody knew I was from Philly, and I was proud to say it, even when the team sucked. So nobody's more Philly than me. Just because I live in Florida doesn't mean. But the news media in Philadelphia is corrupt, and the sports media in Philadelphia is inept. It's inept because everybody's got a podcast, and they're all experts now. All experts on gambling, all experts on, you know, everything else. So,
well, that's what they are. That's what the Philadelphia media is. They're experts.
And Josh Innes was an entertaining guy. And by the way, when Josh Innes
I still talk to Josh Innes
show, when we did the afternoon show, we beat Mike Missinelli, who was the king on the afternoons. That guy, your buddy, Mike Missinelli.
Who?
As I mentioned, woke morons in Philadelphia who try to tell people how to think. I never told people who to vote for, what to think. I told them to think for themselves. And in Philadelphia media, nobody thinks for themselves. They're all robots. All the sports media, and of course the print media.
There's too many softies.
The Philadelphia Inquirer is not even worth to line my bird cage that I have outside. It is garbage, and when they go out of business, I will celebrate.
Wait a minute, you're not going to pay $3 for a Daily News or an Inquirer?
I wouldn't. I don't pay it. They keep sending me. You can get the Inquirer for 8 weeks for just $1.
No, I'm not buying it online either.
I wouldn't give them 10 cents for that rag.
Well,
It's garbage,
what,
and the Philadelphia
whatever.
media is
I
garbage.
will say this:
Garbage.
the media, the sports media in Philadelphia, over years has gotten softer, and that's
Oh,
not a good thing.
absolutely.
There's no
They're all
question.
fanboys now. They're
Yeah.
all fanboys. I'm not a fanboy. I will call out names, but the Jalen Hurts hate to me is the most ridiculous. This is the biggest outrage. Is the people who now all of a sudden now are experts on what a good quarterback is. You watch the freaking games, people. Watch. And by the way, should he run reckless? He did the other night. And he ran and he got first downs and he helped them win the game with his legs. But you want him to run reckless.
Well, you're talking about Jalen Hurts? You're talking about Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
Well,
the other night. In that game, in the terrible rain and the weather, in the wind blowing, and the Eagles, by the way, unlike the Cowboys, the Cowboys have the best kicker in the league, and he plays indoors.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You got the Washington Deadskins, and all these teams firing their kickers. All these teams are firing because they can't find a guy to kick. And Washington fired the guy gay. They fired their gay kicker, and now they're going to go out and get another kicker. These kickers just go from team to team, and the bottom line is the Philadelphia Eagles have the best and most consistent kicker in the NFL this year.
Jake Elliott's excellent.
He's absolutely
the Dallas
and the guy with the Jets. No, the Dallas kicker can kick it 100 miles.
Yeah, I know. He's unbelievable. He's really the guy that the Ravens used to have, but he got himself in trouble. Justin Tucker was really good, but then he screwed himself up. All right, so the biggest outrage. Clarify, Tony. What's the biggest
outrage is the moronic media, sports, and news media in Philadelphia, a national embarrassment on the national stage every single day.
The news media or the sports media?
Both. You're both in the same boat. Both inept, both corrupt, both bullshit artists, and both frauds. And all bullshit artist frauds.
Okay.
Did I say that?
Yeah. Well, why not? All right. We'll touch on a few other teams. Talking about frauds, the Sixers are frauds.
Wait a minute. Aren't they? Wait. I know Joel Embiid is a fraud.
Right.
But what
Sixers
about they're not frauds. They're playing pretty well.
They're beating losing teams, Tony. They're beating losing teams.
They're not. This isn't college football. You don't get to bring somebody in and beat them.
Well, that's what they do, and the NFL's cute, and the NFL's cute, and the NBA's doing the same thing. They're scheduling teams in your division and conference close to one another because normally you don't win both games when you play them that close to one another, and they're doing it.
The
NBA sucks, Tony. The NBA sucks.
It acknowledges that it sucks because they know nobody's going to pay attention, not even on Christmas Day. The NBA thinks now that they're going to take over Christmas Day. Nobody watches the NBA on Christmas Day. Nobody.
Well, the NFL is now really screwing them by doing these games on Christmas Day. All right, so
these aren't Barcan glasses, by the way. These are my blue glasses.
Maxey is terrific. He won't carry a team. He's not good enough to carry a team, but he's a
superstar, Harry.
Oh, well, no, he's a terrific player, but he's not going to carry a team. But the Sixers can't win. They can't when Jared McCain does not fit. They had him as rookie of the year last year until he got hurt. And
doesn't he have the fingernail paint stuff? Is that the guy with the fingernails?
Yeah, I think so. I don't even pay attention to him anymore. Tyrese Maxey is the one guy you can count on. Paul George is stealing money, should be taken out.
Yeah, of course he's stealing money.
Okay, so the Sixers, Daryl Morey, moron, or whatever you want to call him.
At least Patrick Beverley's not around anymore. You see what happened to Patrick Beverley? These guys they're out of the league, and then they get arrested for stuff. Patrick Beverley's the latest guy in trouble.
Well, wait a minute. That's only the ones you hear about. All right, so do we agree that the Sixers are frauds?
I don't think they're frauds. I don't think they're frauds. I think
they're not going anywhere. They're 3 to 4 years.
I know they're not going to win anything.
Hey, here the Sixers are 3 to 4 years away from being 3 to 4 years away.
Of course they are.
3 to 4 years away. That's what they are.
But you see what they did? I love the floors in this NBA. They're trying to make
the NBA Cup. It's a joke.
The NBA Cup. I got a cup right here, NBA. Hey, Joel Embiid, get this cup right here and grab it.
Tony, it's not big enough to have a cup. All right, so now let's go. let's go. Let's go to the. I want to touch on. I want to touch on the Phillies. What have they missed their window of opportunity to win a world championship?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard. Now they're going to play in the field. You said they're going to play in the Field of Dreams game next summer.
Yeah, you notice the picture the Phillies used? They didn't use Zach Wheeler because you have to worry about his injury. And they didn't use Kyle Schwarber because they don't know about Kyle Schwarber coming back. Kyle Schwarber's the best player on the team. Kyle Schwarber's
no doubt about it. But how about this? You have the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are going to lose their best pitcher, right? Who doesn't want to be there anymore?
No, he's going to stay there. They got to sign him.
I know they do, but my point is, the point is that the pitcher who's the best, one of the best young pitchers in baseball, doesn't even want to stay in Pittsburgh. But now Pittsburgh apparently is going to make a run at Kyle Schwarber. Why would they pay Kyle Schwarber in Pittsburgh? They don't pay their stars.
Somebody said they're playing the Twins on that game.
They're playing the Twins in the Field of Dreams game. Yeah,
right.
That's next summer.
Why did you bring up Pittsburgh for?
Because Kyle Schwarber, you mentioned him as being the best player. Kyle Schwarber is now being supposedly wooed by the Pittsburgh Pirates.
You're not going to have the money to pay him. He's going to get $35 million.
Their star players. They don't pay their star players anyway.
Well, Cincinnati, if Cincinnati gets him, they have a chance to go places because they have some good pitching. They have a good team, but I don't know if they have the money to pay him. And that's his hometown, is Cincinnati. Yeah. The Red Sox would probably win that division with Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Toronto was the best team in baseball at the end, but they didn't win, so it doesn't matter. But there are other teams. If the Phillies re-sign Schwarber, they have to, but I still don't think they're a World Series champion with the rest of this team, the construction of that lineup. So
I don't know. That's the thing about baseball. There are windows, and the problem is, Kyle. I saw the stat last week that what's his face, their best player, not Kyle Schwarber, the other guy,
who Harper.
Bryce Harper has now played the exact number of games for the Phillies and the Washington Nationals.
Right.
And his numbers are exactly the same pretty much on both teams.
He's only driven in 100 runs twice in his career, once with Washington and once with the Phillies. And now he swings for home runs too much, but he needs home runs to get into the Hall of Fame. And I don't know that he'll get 500. He won't even have 400 next year. So, and that doesn't get you in. So I just don't know, his numbers. You look at took Dave Parker 20 years to get in the Hall of Fame. And Dave Parker's numbers just swoon over Bryce Harper. And he was a better right fielder than Bryce Harper. So the thing about Howard, the thing about the Phillies season, it's just, it's too long. Baseball season's too long. They're playing the World Series in November, and it just keeps you occupied during the summer. Listen, I love watching Phillies games, but I'm not staying up every night to watch the Phillies, because you can bitch about the Phillies every night for 162 games. That's the difference between football. You got a whole week to talk football, but baseball, it goes on and on. And by the way, I know about the Minnesota Twins. They train right down the street here, in Fort Myers. And so I've seen them play. I go out to watch the spring training games down here with the Red Sox and the Phillies and Clearwater and the Minnesota Twins, all in this area. Great place for baseball. Yeah, Florida, actually, it's unfortunate they only have half the number of teams. The other half are now, some have moved to Arizona, and they're all within like 25, 30 minutes. The Phillies are like 2.5 hours away from going to play Minnesota and the Red Sox because it's across the state. They're coming from Clearwater to Fort Myers.
It's just down. It's up straight up the West Coast to Clearwater, straight down here to Fort Myers.
But it's still it's a long drive when they have to go there. So you didn't answer my question. Have they missed their window? Phillies
probably. I mean, look at the other teams. I mean, look at the Braves. You look at their lineup now. You look at the Dodgers. Everybody wants to play for the Dodgers. That's the thing about baseball. when the Dodgers become a dynasty, their catcher, Will Smith, has been on like 5 consecutive winning teams, and they're not the same team. So that's the thing about baseball. Baseball doesn't have to worry about salary caps or anything like that. I know they have the tax and the luxury tax, but everybody wants to play for the Dodgers now. And the Phillies saw the Dodgers, and they were actually better than the Dodgers for many years, and they own the Dodgers. But the Dodgers are the team to beat right now. Are you seeing that team drop back?
And they're still going to get more people. All right, so Tony, so I'm going to move on. And here's a comment that I made in the last couple of weeks. I think excluding the Eagles, we're going to exclude the Eagles, the Flyers will win the next championship in Philadelphia. That includes the Flyers, the Sixers, and the Phillies. Agree or disagree?
You know what? I mean,
I don't think it's anytime soon, but it's
no. I mean, it's been 19. I was there for the Stanley Cups. I was in Buffalo for the second one on the plane back ride with the Flyers. You know, we knew all those guys. They were great. They were great guys, great players. Many of them. Bernie, just died recently. These guys were legendary and they stayed in the Philadelphia area. That's the good thing. Bryce Harper doesn't stay in Philly. He goes to Vegas. And again, I don't say the players have to live here.
He bought a home here. He can buy 20 homes. He's got so much money.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So, but nonetheless, so agree or disagree, the Flyers.
Yes, I think the Flyers have good young players, and are they going to sign Cody Bellinger back? The Dodgers?
I don't know. I don't know whatever they do, they're going to be able to get players. And the Phillies the Phillies, these other teams, I don't know. The Mets guy will pay all this luxury tax, but I don't know that the other people, I don't know. There's not a lot of owners that will pay exorbitant money for the luxury tax. The Phillies probably have to pay 60 to 70 million just hard cash over their payroll from last year's. So if they sign, Schwarber's going to sign. He's going to get at least, now it looks like 6 years, at least $35 million a year. I'm telling you, it's just.
I think I'd say you're right. I totally agree with you, Howard. And then let's be honest, Boston in that ballpark.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah.
Oh,
I know. It's just, hey, listen, and he's been with 4 teams. And here's the other thing. If the Phillies lose Kyle Schwarber, they lose their leader in the clubhouse. He is absolutely the leader in the clubhouse.
No doubt about it.
It's not even close.
And the Phillies have to start going over to Japan because all these Japanese players want to play here now.
Yeah, but they love the West Coast. They love the West Coast. I don't know. They have the most. I guess New York.
They like the West Coast because there's a big Asian community out there.
Yes,
obviously.
Correct.
And now they all want to play in the major leagues. It's like the hockey players. It's like the NBA players. Look at all the players from all over the world that have made the NBA better. Most of the great players in the NBA are not even Americans anymore. Look at the stars in the NBA.
Well, yeah, but they're good players. They get good because they're fundamentally sound coming from another country. All they learn in this country is how to shoot threes, how to dunk, and how to mug for the camera. That's all they do. That's why the NBA.
And how to walk and get away with it with 52 steps before.
That'll lead me into LeBron James. It's an embarrassment that he's still playing basketball. All he cares about is the numbers and getting keeping his kid on the team. As long as he's on the team, they won't cut his kid who flat out can't play a little bit. Can't play a little bit. Sucks.
He couldn't even play for the Sixers. That's how bad Bronny is.
He couldn't even start for USC, and they were only a 500 team his last year in college. It's a joke. So you agree that LeBron James should have retired? All he wants is to play more years, more games.
Not only is he a terrible person, not only is he a fraud.
He's all about himself.
He's an absolute piece of human garbage. He is a fraud. That's what he is. He's a fraud. He's a liar. He's a cheater. Everybody says, he gives money to charity. That school that he opened up in Akron, nobody graduates. You see that?
I don't know.
He can't read and they can't read. I'm not saying all NBA players can't read. I'm saying LeBron James can't read. And I got fired for saying that from Sirius XM because I said LeBron James can't read when we saw him remember when he was down there in Orlando in the bubble and he's sitting there reading the books? Yeah, it was a big story. They showed him every time, and he was always on the first page of every book he was reading.
I can't believe that. That's really hard to believe.
And I went on the air on Sirius XM, and I said, LeBron James, the guy can't even read. And here he is in the bubble, and there were pictures of him opening up the book. And every time they were looking at him, he was supposedly reading, and it was always the first page of the book. I don't know about you, Howard, but if I was the king of the NBA, self-proclaimed King
Self-proclaimed King, that
he's
is correct.
Queen James.
It's just, well, he's LaFraud James to me. And they made a big story that LaFraud James, Steph Curry's a stud. Great guy,
Absolutely.
great player, that they're not going to play in the Olympics. Well, that's what, a couple of years away?
Exactly. Who cares?
Why waste your summer going to the Olympics? They've been there, done that. They don't need to do that anymore. And I don't even care at that point. LeBron James will probably have LaFraud James will probably have a walker. I mean,
I'll tell you what, with all this gambling stuff going on now with the NBA and the baseball and all these other guys and managers betting, the bottom line is this gambling stuff is out of control. And listen, not you and I love gambling.
It's an outrage, Tony. It's an outrage.
We've been doing stuff from Mr. Monday Night from back in the 80s before anybody even knew what gambling was, before you had to have DraftKings and all the other stuff.
Prop bets have screwed everything up. Prop bets have screwed everything up.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Howard.
Yeah, I mean,
and now you got players making millions of dollars a year in baseball trying to make another couple of $1,000 for their pals. It's embarrassing.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It really is a joke.
It's an outrage. What it is.
It is. It is an outrage. One last question.
I'm out of time. I'm sorry, Howard. I don't have time for any more questions.
Okay, well, you can make it short.
What's the next question?
Well, last question. Will the Eagles win the Super Bowl?
I think they got as good a shot as anybody else.
I didn't ask you that.
They're gonna go. They should three-peat. I think they're the next dynasty in sports.
Three-peat. They've only won.
They should have won. They should have won the other one.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. That doesn't count. Okay, if they win back,
he was the better quarterback in the Super Bowl that they lost. Was he not the better quarterback in the Super Bowl that they lost?
Probably
the first. Yeah,
probably. Yeah. Okay. So you say yes, right?
I think they. Yeah, I think that. Will they?
I don't want to tap dance from you.
I'm not tap dancing. I want
an answer. Give me an answer.
You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
And when they win, Howard, you are going to have to ride up Broad Street from the Wells Fargo, whatever the damn
it's
building.
Now the Xfinity Mobile Arena.
From the FU Center. It'll always be the FU Center to me, Howard. Because FU to all the Sixer fans who want the process.
What was the company? Of First Union.
First Union. Yeah. That was the greatest name of any building ever in Philadelphia. The FU Center. I mean, they should have just had the finger up there right on the top. Where they have all the banners and stuff. FU Center, and these are going up right up the top of the old
Tony, you know what? You ought to have a cup of coffee to slow you down. Get a cup.
This is prednisone.
A cup of
I'm
coffee.
on prednisone and another drug that's keeping my.
You're on drugs all the time anyway.
No, I'm not. I hate drugs, Howard. Okay, I'm doing it because the kid's going to keep me alive.
I'm saying that sarcastically. Tony.
I got Crohn's disease, Howard.
I know. I didn't want to get into that because I don't want to bring it down to it, but it sounds like you're getting better, correct?
Yeah, they're good. I have good. You say I've never had a bad day in my life, and that's one of your great lines. I try not to have a bad day. I don't get up to I go up looking for good things and happiness. And that's what you can do when you get into your 70s.
That's a great attitude.
You and I are both in our 70s, and we know we've lived long lives. We've had great careers, and I'm thankful that I'm still alive. And I don't know how long we're going to go, but the bottom line is I don't need Blue Chew. I don't need any of that stuff.
I would have a cup.
I don't need any nicotine patches. I don't need any drugs. I don't need any Meth, I don't need any of that. Cocaine, never did cocaine.
No,
I never liked the way
I was
never
being
liked the way it
sarcastic.
smelled. Never did it.
I never did it either. I was only being sarcastic. I don't want to say it, did you? You're nuts. Okay, Tony. So you're getting better, right? That's the important thing.
Some days I feel really, really good, and then I get up and I get right to it. I get up at 6:30 in the morning, and I just want to get started. That's all I want to do. I want to get started and feel good, and then I run out of gas a little bit, and I go lay down. I don't take naps. I'm just trying to be healthy. You know, all you can do is try what the doctor tells you to do. You do it, and you hope to live a great life.
You know what? And we hope you can live another 50 years so you can keep on annoying people. And that's what you do. You annoy
No,
people.
that would be too old. Then I would be like Joe Biden. I would be like a walking corpse.
Hey, this guy in the White House now is not exactly a spring chicken either. I don't want you to respond. I don't want you to respond.
I'm not responding. I'm not a political guy, Howard.
Okay.
Even though I was a political science major, I was a political science and journalism major, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Was that Stockton?
I have cat hair on my. I got cat hair on my Super Bowl hat. Where's my little?
Does Stockton College still exist? I don't know if they. I don't even know if that was a phony thing too. But I think it was. Whatever. All right, your next show, because you're going to be healthy enough. I know Miss Robin, and she's gotten better too. Was sick last week. You're on Friday night at 7:00, correct?
7:00. We'll talk obviously all the stuff that's going on in the upcoming weekend, and then of course I'm going to be on. By the way, I'm going on another show that is the former radio station that I work for. I will be on with Johnny Marks and Harry Mays on Friday morning to break it all down, to play the sound effects, to rip people, and to do the things that we love to do.
Okay.
When we talk about Philly sports.
Tell him I said hi, and just and you have a good time. But you're going to be on Friday night, and it's on YouTube, correct?
As long as I'm healthy enough to do it, but the show on 12:10, not 12:10. I'm on 12:10 on Wednesdays, and next week I'll be on Wednesday and Friday. So I'm happy. People call me and ask me to do shows, and I feel up to it. I do it. That's what it's all about, man. You got to feel good. If you don't feel good, then people can tell that something's wrong with you. I just want to be happy and feel energetic every day.
By the way, Patty, who's a regular listener, Patty H, says it's the cat hair. I guess there's a lot of cat hair on that knit cap.
We have two cats.
I know. We saw them, Tony. We saw them as you went to your closet.
Cats.
You came out of the closet and you came out with
and
the
cat came out of the closet with me. Yes.
Okay. Thanks. All right. You know what? I can't tell whether you're a nitwit or a dope, but either way, thanks. It's always fun talking to you. And thanks to Miss Robin, because we're going to still take a few more votes. Right now, 2's got a slight edge over 1 of the show opens. The new show opens. 2 has a slight edge over 1. So thanks, genius.
Can you keep voting? Can you keep voting early and often, even after the polls close, like they do in Delaware County and places like that?
Even after. No. Once the polls close, the polls close. You're dope. You're dope. Yeah, you can even have mail-in, because mail-in is legitimate. So you can even have mail-in votes too. So I'll take mail-in votes. Tony,
I just mail in. I don't even mail in the show. So why would I mail in a vote?
Hey, how about Bill Rainier just chimed in? Remember Bill? I don't know if that's him or is
great.
I don't know if that's him or it's him. That's
no,
him?
It is the great Bill Rainier. He calls into my nighttime show on Fridays.
Is that right?
A while to check in. Yeah.
Two
Talk about legendary guys.
Radio guys. We both worked there at one time.
Bill Rainier was one.
That was a great radio station. It's not
Absolutely.
radio today has fallen apart, but that was a great radio station. Great radio station.
And great people at every single department. The board ops, the news people, the jocks. I mean, that's when radio was really
came out with George Michael, Jim O'Brien. Yeah. There was so many great people there.
Dr. Don Rose, Jay Cook. I mean,
Dangerous Dan Donovan.
Absolutely.
I know. All right, genius. Say hello to him and I thank again Miss Robin, and thank you. And we'll do it. Do it again. I hope you can get to sleep tonight. You're so fired up.
No, I'll go. Trust me. When my head hits the pillow, I am out.
It's better than hitting the wall. It's
Right.
better than hitting the wall.
Damn right.
Tony, take care. I love you.
Thanks, Howard.
See
Love
ya.
you too, brother.
Yeah,
Thanks, brother.
see ya. That crown does not fit you. Oh, Tony Bruno. Oh, it's just there's a couple of things I want to say. But before I do that, I want to thank our presenting sponsor of this blast. People bringing up old names. I see Tony brings up Irv Homer. Irv Homer was a guy that worked at WWDB, which was really the first place I did sports talk. But anyway, thanks to Jeff Stillwell and Stillwell Financial Advisors, our presenting sponsor. Stillwell, I'm telling you, now is the time to make sure that you invest well. And Jeff Stillwell is absolutely the guy with his company, Stillwell Financial Advisors, that can help you. 732-343-0813. And also, hey, if you want a car, and I have a faithful listener of the show who I saw yesterday, and he says, I'm thinking about getting a Q5. I'll tell you the place you can do it, and that would be Audi Westchester. Q5 is a great vehicle. The Audi vehicles are great vehicles. And with the Q5 right now, 1.99% financing up to 72 months. 3.99% financing for up to 72 months on the new redesigned A5 and the A5 sedan. Audi Westchester's got it going. Now, you go in there, have some fun, grab a cup of coffee, grab some snacks. 1421 Wilmington Pike, Audi Westchester. Go in there, work out your best deal, and after you work out your best deal, say, I want Claudio 500. And Tony wants to talk to Claudio, the Claudio 500, and you get another $500 off your best price. Audi Westchester, you can't beat these deals. You can't beat them. 1421 Wilmington Pike. Check it all out, AudiWestchester.com. Tony's got a new house, but he wants a new pool. Now, I don't know if Piazza Property Pros are going to go to Florida. He lives near Fort Myers, I think is where he lives now. But if you live in the area, you want a pool. You want landscaping. You want fencing. You want good people. Piazza Property Pros, 25 years of experience. They specialize in turning your reality your vision into a reality. Great customer service. They don't subcontract. That's a good thing. Whether it's excavation, hardscaping, fencing, landscaping, pool maintenance, if you already have a pool, you can trust Piazza Property Pros. Give them a call, 610-566-2608. That's 610-566-2608 or piazzaoutdoor.com. All right, we still want people to vote on the songs. I hope you heard them. You can go back and listen to the shows. Go on our sites and your messages. I do want to mention a couple of things before we go. First of all, I got to mention last week's winner of the Larry Boa autographed baseball. Almost forgot to do that. Walter Stetler. There was a couple of people went both ways. Mark Lawrence, I asked him the biggest surprise in the NFL. At first he said Seattle, and he says, nope. He says Carolina. Some people said Seattle. About half the people said Seattle, but the final answer was Carolina, and Walter Stetler. Congratulations, you won. Now, I will give you a question in seconds. First of all, good luck to Virginia Tech's football team because they got a fraud as a head coach. What a joke. He is such a con man. That's the best job he could get. They used to be a really good team. They're in an easier conference, so he goes there, still gets his money. It's James Franklin. He'll win games, but he won't win anything beyond that, and that's not going to be good enough. That's number one that I wanted to mention. Number two, and I said it with Tony, LaFraud James needs to go away. I don't care if you play 23 years. He's still behind in the most games played in the NBA. He needs 40-some games. He'll get there this year, and he's on the Lakers to keep his son on the team and to try to build up numbers, and that's all he cares about right now. The NBA is a joke. All these guys with assists, when you score 130, 140 points, there's going to be a lot of assists. It's a joke. And the other thing is college football is a disgrace. And here's the reason I think it's a disgrace, there's a lot of reasons. Notre Dame is right now in the football playoffs. They lost to Alabama. Both teams have the same number of losses. Alabama has more quality wins, yet they're not in the playoffs. I don't have love for either team, but the reason Notre Dame, that the committee, that stinking college committee, wants Notre Dame in there, Notre Dame draws fans for television. All you want is television numbers. You want to, it's all about money. It's a disgrace that Notre Dame's in. And the committee, as long as Notre Dame doesn't lose, and I don't think they play anybody tough the rest of the year, they're not in a conference, so they don't have to play a conference championship. That's unfair because they have one less tough game than almost everybody else. That's wrong because they don't want to go in the conference because they don't want to share any money. They're in a quasi. They play ACC teams. They play an easy They play easy. That's an easier conference right now, but they're not in a conference. They don't have to play 100. They don't have to play a conference championship, and that is not right. But they don't have to. They're not in a conference because they don't want to pay. They don't want to share their money, the television money, with the rest of the teams in the conference and their bowl money. It's awful. Notre Dame is a disgrace to be in the college football playoffs. Hey, they're a good team, but they don't belong there ahead of Alabama. All right, made my say. All right, my question. All right, Tony, and I asked him specifically, and I asked him the biggest outrage. What did Tony say? He actually identified kind of a couple of things. Tony, that's one of his favorite things. That's an outrage. His biggest outrage. All right, if in fact you answer that, you submit your answer to my website, howardeskin.com. You answer it correctly. You go to howardeskin.com, go to the contact page, answer it by Friday at midnight, November 21st, and we will announce the winner. Tony Bruno said what his biggest outrage in Philadelphia. And we'll announce the winner on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube on Saturday. The winner will be randomly chosen from all the correct entries, and you will win a Chickies and Pete's. I want to feed you. You'll win a Chickies and Pete's gift certificate. I ought to give him Tony one, but there's no Chickies and Pete's yet down in Florida. All right. Thanks for joining the show. Here is, now we're going to play our new theme song coming in and out of the show. This is number 2. You got to go back to the show. I see John Smith said, let me look at the comments before I go. Mr. Monday Night and Vegas Vic. Yes, that was John Smith. It just, Tony and I all had great shows. We never really worked together. So, but there's a lot of, let me see. The Sports Machine. Yeah, I did segments on the Sports Machine with George Michael. That was Connell. Thanks for the ride, Tony. Hardcore for all said that. Where is Arthur the criminal? He's either, God forbid that he's passed away, or he's in jail and he can't pay off the guards to get a phone. He's obviously, I would hope he's only just in jail. Hardcore for all, mail it in. 2 old WFIL guys. Devontae Smith is a better receiver. Cape Coral's where Tony lives. Tony Bruno show on my way to Cape Coral on Friday to our new home. I think that's where, I'm not sure where Tony lives in Florida either, but he might be in the Cape Coral area. Patty, thanks again for listening. The spring chickens froze the screen. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean. But anyway, thanks to everybody. Vote on the songs. This one that we're going to play going out of the show, and I thank you for being part of the show. This one we'll play is number 2. Number 1 was played earlier. Vote for which one you like best. But this is the new theme song. And thanks for joining and riding with the king. Thanks for joining the Howard Eskin Show.
Yes, K-I-N. the Sixers to the fields. One voice cuts through, giving you the real. He broke the stories, he started the fire, launched the whole game back in '86, never retired. Heroes crown him, yeah, they call him the king. Fur coat flashing, bling bling in every ring. He's the hardest working, great talking dog. Call in with your tape, but don't get it wrong. He'll call you a nitwit if you're acting a fool, but deep down you love it, that's the Eskin rule. Riding with the king, yeah, we're riding with the king. Howard Eskin Show, let the truth ring. Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, he knows the deal. Philly sports royalty, bow down and kneel. Riding with the king, put your hands in the air. From South Philly streets to the Delaware. No filter, no fear, just the facts on the mic. It's the Howard Eskin Show. Let's go get sight. Hey, riding with the king. Riding with the king. Hey, riding with the king. Riding with the king.